Hey guys, Jordan Breshears here, Eastmans. I'm going to do a TagHub tip for you. I'm sitting around here post-hunting season, pre-application season, and just checking out units and places that I want to apply. And I thought I'd show you some of the filters that I use and the process I go through to achieve that. Uh, First, I'm here logged into Spartan Forge. I'm going to pull up the TagHub layer and I'll show you some of the filters that you can place to narrow it down. Right now we have anywhere. I want to go with Rocky Mountain elk, and then we're going to do archery, and then make sure if you're doing archery or a lot of the short range weapons are going to be underneath of any weapon hunt. So click both, and then you can narrow it down as you get closer. Trophy potential, excellent, good, marginal are all on the page right now. And then our filters for public land, for me, I want at least 50% public land, so we're just going to do generic 50%. 3-year harvest success, 10-15% is good for archery, good enough, and 20-25% with any weapon. The higher the better. If you feel like you're advanced enough to narrow the odds and get after it, then drop that and you'll find more hunts in harder to hunt places. Then draw odds. I don't like waiting around for draws, so we're going to roll with a 50% and just see what's on the table. I mean, if there's not, then drop it down. Maybe you can draw every 2-3 years or every 4 years. That's still way better than a lot of options on the table. All right, so we see this layer is applied to all 11 Western states. And something I just want to show you here just for fun is if you go back up to the top and you just want to look at Oregon, it'll keep that layer over the top of Oregon only. And then if you want to compare it to Oregon and Idaho, you have both states right next to each other. I can see that there's a couple units pretty much bordering on the border, which makes sense. But regulations wise, the Idaho hunt might be a lot easier, or maybe it's harder than the Oregon hunt. So you can zoom in on that and knock out some of that if you get closer. So we're gonna go back to anywhere, and I am going to get a little bit better criteria for Idaho. So your 3-year success rate needs to drop just a touch. And we're going to look at a unit in Idaho. So I'll click on the unit, which is going to bring up Idaho all by itself. And then I'm going to click on the unit one more time. And that gives me this space to look at. 24% average on the 3-year harvest, 70% public land is a big area, 2,183,568 acres. Click this little expand button. You can see what you have for options: OTC General A, either sex, first only. All right, so it says NA for non-resident, and that's because it's an over-the-counter tag, which is awesome. So Idaho's a little funny though. They start selling their tags December 1st and they sell out quickly, which almost makes it like it's a limited entry hunt. However, it fell within our criteria and we know it's achievable. You just have to get into that space December 1st and try to get that tag and have that in your back pocket. If you want limited entry, you're going to have to keep sorting through these filters and find it. I'm going to back out of this and I want to look at, I'm going to show you guys another unit, and we're going to place a pin and talk about further investigation into that space. So we're going to pull up the public land layer and highlight all the public land options. Might as well throw access in there as well. And now we can look at this unit and understand its structure. So we have 93% public land, which is obvious, and it's in the foothills and mountainy country. So I'm going to 3D this, and as we populate here, 3D, zoom in, and we can look at the unit in all its splendor or all its ruggedness or all of its desert terrain and start seeing something we like or dislike. We can place pins for glassing areas, water areas, bedding areas, and this will give you the option to back out, do it again with the next unit, do it again with the next unit, compare everything, and narrow it down for your top two, and then have a first and second choice per each state. Get your applications in, and then like for the unit we just looked at in Idaho, that's over the counter. So maybe you can find one or two over the counter as your backup plan. Throw that on the table, and you have a guaranteed hunt for your 2024 fall. And if you're lucky, you do the limited tag. If you're like the rest of us and don't ever draw, you're hunting the general tag, but you still have all the tools to find the one you want and get there as efficiently as possible. Hope you enjoyed this content. If you like it, please like and subscribe, and we'll bring more in the near future. Thanks for joining us.